The Buddhist sermon is delivered by Venerable Bambaragama Somarathana Thera, the chief incumbent of Sri Jinendraramaya Temple, Buller's Lane.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Enlightened One, the Buddha. Venerable members of the Mahasangha, dear Dhamma friends, I am happy to conduct today's sermon, telecasting on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Dear Dhamma friends, the topic today is how to overcome resentment or anger. Dear devotees, friends in the Dhamma, the Blessed One, the Buddha, was enlightened for the purpose of enlightening others. Buddhism is not discussing a creator, savior, or any other supernatural being. Buddhism tells us to identify the power of human mind and develop it up to the higher states by cultivating good qualities. Then we can achieve the path leading to ultimate happiness, Nibbana. Buddhism doesn't want to change the people. It encourages us to develop ourselves. The Supreme Buddha says, Tumhe kiccang atappang akkhataro tatagato aha, which means you yourself must earnestly practice. A Tathagata, the enlightened ones, will only show the path. It's your duty to choose the path. You have to find salvation, your own emancipation. So, my dear friends, try your level best to practice Dhamma in your day-to-day lives. My dear devotees, see how difficult it is for us to develop this mind. We are born in this world with a pure mind. Anguttara Nikaya, the Blessed One says, Pabassara midam bhikkhave chittang tanchako agantukehi upakkilittehi upakkilittam. Which means, our mind is bright, radiant, and it should be regarded as something shining. The Blessed One says, monks, it is defiled by temporary defilements which are come across in our day-to-day lives. An unlearned ordinary person doesn't understand that reality. So when one listens the Dhamma, he or she will understand the reality of the being, reality of the world. This unpleasant, unwholesome, harmful, evil thoughts come into our mind because of the evil roots of greed, lobha, because of evil roots of hatred, dosa, evil roots of delusion, moha. Those evil aspects are laying in our mind, hiding in our mind. We call them as anusaya dhamma, subtle mental tendencies in Pali. Because of these unwholesome thoughts, defilements, we can't realize the truth. Dear Dhamma friend, through ignorance, we create our own ideas and conception according to our own imagination, which is not correct. But we always misleading by those negative, unwholesome thoughts. Buddhism teaches us about non-violence and compassion. In order to develop kindness and compassion, we have to dispel our anger or resentment. Today I am going to share a very important sutta, which was in Anguttara Nikaya, 10th section, 79 sutta. It's quite an interesting topic to be discussed. First of all, we have to understand the difference between anger and resentment. Then we have to find out the ways how to deal with it and how to heal it. Angry thoughts will not be maintained in our mind for a long time. Anger remains a short time in our mind. But resentment remains long time. Resentment arises in our mind once you have been hurt or treated in an unfair manner. This maltreatment is the cause of your hatred. It goes on for a long time. Above mentioned sutta is discussing how those harmful thoughts of resentment arise in our mind. Let's look at some Pali words about anger, what we come across from Pali canon. Some of them are Koda, Vyapada, Aghata, Upanaha and Patiga, etc. Koda means normal anger. It arises into our minds from time to time and goes away within a short period of time. Upanaha and Aghata are called resentment or hatred, some kind of aversive thought. Vyapada is ill will. Once we have these kinds of thoughts, we become slaves of others. This mentality creates severe harm for us. According to the Abhidhamma, the higher Dhamma, there we can find akusala chitta. Those thoughts are called patiga. Patiga is the extended or expanded states of our anger. Dear Dhamma friends, according to the Blessed One, the Buddha, there are 3 persons in this world. Each of these people deals with and heals anger in different ways, different manner. One person controls his anger like a line drawn in the water. The line has drawn in the water would disappear very soon. In the same way, a wise person doesn't feed the anger in this manner. Dear Dhamma friends, the second person is dealing with anger like a line drawn in the sand. When he draws a line in the sand, it will not disappear as soon as the line drawn in the water. It takes period of time to heal the wounds in our mind by punishing and hurting for us, our mind. This hatred will trouble you deeply. But that person cannot get rid of that hatred or resentment as soon as the first person did. The third person maintained their anger like a line carved in a stone. This person is very poor because he or she doesn't have a skill to control or dispel anger wisely. Dear devotees, why we become angry? There are 3 reasons for becoming angry. One is we become resentful or hateful because of something his inner circle did to him in the past. The second one, something his inner circle could not do to him. Something that the people around us did not do enough for us. The third one. These are the main reasons why we take revenge on others. But in Agata Vattu Sutta, the Blessed One preached 10 reasons for arising resentment, hatred, unwholesome, evil thoughts. Agata means resentment. Vattu means grounds. In this sutta, the Blessed One discussed this resentment or the hatreds, 10 grounds for resentment. The sutta starts as follows. Dasaime bhikkave agata vattuni. Monks, there are 10 grounds for resentment. What are those 10 grounds for taking revenge or resentments? My dear devotees, the Blessed One clarified the 10 in 3 ways. The first 3 are about the self. The second 3 are about the people who are in our inner circle or our beloved one, the people that we like. The third group is about our enemies or people who don't like. The first one is anattamme acharayiti ti agatam bandhati. Sutta says, they think somebody did this to me. You become angry because of someone's unfair treatment or wrongdoing that had happened in the past. By thinking, they develop their resentment or anger. Something bad happening at present regarding the present situation, taking the present situation, he or she develop his anger. And something bad will happen in the future. Fear of future. Taking that, the person develop their anger. Dear devotees, imagine when you are scolded by your close friend or a neighbor, you keep that anger in your mind and think again and again. And we develop that angry mind. Likewise, it is not reasonable for him to behave like this. See how he has forgotten my lifetime sacrifices for him. The way he talks, pointing his fingers at me, is unbelievable. In this way, we develop our anger by asking for justice. So we clinging to the angry thoughts. Clinging is very dangerous according to Buddhism. It is called upadana in Pali. Dear friends, people want to depend on the demands of others, even without sleeping, when sitting, walking, cooking, whatever mental or verbal, physical activity they are doing, they do it with resentful thoughts, hatred thoughts. Why we are giving our privacy to others? When we wake up in the morning, when we go to work, until sleep, that person, that angry person is with you. So you have to get rid of that anger. Refrain from that anger. So, dear devotees, remember the first one. An angry person takes his revenge by thinking the past. Somebody did harm him. Then he thinks about the present. Somebody is doing bad for him, still mistreating him. Finally, he reflects, somebody will harm him. This is how he developed resentment. I will name this as anger bhavana. It is unfortunate to say that this is happening in this society. The majority of people think in an unwholesome manner. They don't develop wholesome deeds in their mind. They don't maintain the mind of loving kindness and compassion. So let's go to the second group. Piyasame manapassa acharititi aghatam bandati. The Supreme Buddha says, then he developed resentment by thinking about people he liked. The first one is about self. The second group is about people he liked or loved ones. Somebody did harm in the past to my lovely wife or husband, kids, close friend, etc. My father, mother, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, or boss in the office treated me in an unfair manner. In this way, we are thinking again and again about negative, unwholesome thought. This is called mental proliferation or vitakka in Pali language. Once we have this kind of mentality, we can't find the happiness in our life. The third group is about apyasame amanapassa attang achariti aghatam bandati. That means someone helped someone in the past. Someone is helping someone I don't like at present. Someone is helped someone in the past that I don't like. The first group about self, the second group about people around us. The third group is about our enemies, people who don't like. Someone will help the people that I don't like in future. In this way, we develop our anger by taking our enemies or the people who don't like. The last person is somebody who becomes angry for no reason. Attanecha kuppati. I think you have met people like this. Some people are in an angry mood without a reason. This is the 10th reason for resentment. Some people are in a long phase or bitter phase without a reason. So we have to think about these 10 kind of resentment. Dear meritorious devotees, our Supreme Buddha preached us very important sermon on removing those kinds of distractive thoughts, unwholesome thoughts. That is in Patama Aghata Pativinaya Sutta. The Supreme Buddha gives 5 important practices to complete eradication of resentment. Remember, the first one is Yasmin Puggale Agato Jayati Metta tasmin bhave tabba. If you have resentful mood, resentful mind, resentful thoughts, you go against that thoughts. According to the Supreme Buddha, we have to practice loving kindness. Radiate loving kindness, metta for all, sincere and genuine wish for the welfare and happiness of all. It is not just sitting meditation. We have to practically practice this loving kindness when we are doing our day-to-day life. Metta Sutta tells, Tittancarang nisinnoa sayanoa yavatassa vigatamitto. When sitting, walking, doing something, sleeping, every moment of our life, we have to develop loving kindness. The second method is to pay compassion. By developing compassion, we can get rid of anger and resentment. Without expecting anything in return, we share sorrows and happiness with others and shows compassion to others who are misfortune. That is called compassion. The third one is mudita, sympathetic joy. By being jealousy, no one can achieve anything. My dear Dhamma friend, once we become jealous, at the same time we are giving a negative thoughts to our own mind. Remember this. The fourth one is upekka, equanimity, a balanced state of mind that arise on our mind. Understanding that we are heirs of our own deeds. The practice of upekka discards craving and aversions. So we have to maintain the balanced states of our mind. The fifth method is asati amanasikaro. Buddha instructed us to forget that unwholesome thought, the last method, at once. We have to forget that. We have to ignore that thought. We can direct our mind with determination towards another goal. Dhammapada says, hatreds never cease through hatreds in this world. Through love alone they cease. This is the eternal law. Dear Dhamma friend, these immoral, unwholesome thoughts that make us unhappy and destroy the happiness in our life, destroy the purpose of our life, and destroy our hopes. Therefore, by avoiding resentments or hatred, by developing positive tendencies, we can lead a successful world life. And also by listening, and also we can attain the noble states of Sovan, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arihata. By listening to the sermon, you have accumulated a great meritorious deed. With this meritorious deed, you may become happy, healthy in this life and attain happiness, Nibbana. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you forever. Let's transfer the merit for Devas. Akasatta ca Bhummatta Deva Naga Mahiddhika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkantu Loka Sasanang.
The Buddhist sermon was delivered by Venerable Bambaragama Somarathana Thera, the chief incumbent of Sri Jinendraramaya Temple, Buller's Lane.